Liverpool FC is hard as hell. United, Tottenham, Arsenal. Watch my lips, and I will spell. Cause they don't just play, but they can rap as well. Liverpool FC.
Yeah, my idea was to build Liverpool into a bastion of invincibility, you know, like...
Yo, we're back again. It's the Anfield South from WhatsApp to podcast. You got myself, the host Slim. With me today is Sam.
Yes, people.
Leroy.
Yo, what's poppin'?
James is finally in the house.
Salute.
Chris.
What's good, people?
Ryan's back again.
Yo.
And another first timer, we got Wazza.
Nice to be here.
Right, so we just watched Liverpool Man City at Anfield. Final score 0-0. I think there's a lot to say about this game, so I'm just going to throw it out there to whoever wants to jump in on it. Somebody give me their verdict on today's game.
I'll go first.
Yes, right.
So, it was a good result, considering they had a last 10-minute penalty or whatever, and we didn't offer much, hardly anything as an attacking threat. But there's a trend starting, I think. Like, if our front three ain't at it, nothing ain't happening. Midfield offers nothing.
Exactly what I was just about to jump in and say to you. Do you think that is because the midfield is non-existent? Like...
Non-existent. We've got Wijnaldum. Now this
Hey.
We're gonna get into that. We have to get into that.
Hey, listen, Ryan. You just come back and you're already on the boys' back.
Let's go, because I've been hearing the guy's playing great and he's doing all this and doing all that. But in reality, the expectation we have of him is so low that if he plays one forward pass, whoa, great game, Wijnaldum is back. But the reality is, he is crap. The guy's rubbish. Like I don't like to attack our players and all of that. Like, but it's the reality. He's scared. He gets into a position where he's looking forward, and he starts to panic. His head starts to wobble, and then he turns back. It's not good enough. He's a championship player. Like, that's it.
Wow, that's some strong words there from you, bro.
I wouldn't go that far, but I agree on many points Ryan just made. I felt like the players were just trying to wait, because I think I got a feeling they heard about this 7-game stretch in terms like the same way the fans did, and I think they were thinking about certain games as long as we get through this period, rather than trying to take each game as it came and win each game as it came. I think they were thinking about the 7-game period. So like in this one, it was really weird. There's the same level of intensity when I know maybe it was fatigue, but you could argue maybe they shouldn't be that fatigued.
Fatigued at this stage of the season. Really?
With regards to Wijnaldum, I agree with you on 75, maybe 8% of what you're saying. He has played better than he has in the past.
Last season, it was abysmal. You cannot play worse.
Can't talk about last season.
True. But he's had a few good, decent games. But I get your point.
But don't you
I agree.
But don't you feel Wijnaldum's role in the team? He's not a creator at the moment. He's more of a holding midfielder who gets the ball, keeps the ball, protects the ball, and then recycles it, moves it on, or whatever you. Do you know what I mean?
I think.
Do you know what, Slim? You're actually bang on point. But with that in mind, should him and Henderson be playing in the same team? Because they're doing exactly the same job. I'm not even going to criticise Henderson on this score, but I feel like we're just regurgitating what we're doing with him.
Okay, but
and having both of them in there reduces our creativity.
It does, but then the next thing is, who would you put in there?
I think Fabinho's ready.
But he's another holding midfielder.
No, but what I'm trying to say, there's holding midfielders and then holding midfielders.
Yeah.
There's holding midfielders that are just destroyers, Makelele, and then you've got players who can, like an Alonso, he was a defensive midfielder, but he could also create.
Forward thinking.
He could create. If you look at Fabinho, when he turns on the ball, he can ping a ball forward. He can go past the player. I don't think Wijnaldum can do that. But going back to what Ryan said with Wijnaldum, the reason why he's been good and not so good as a defensive midfielder is that he used to be a number 10. So he should know how to pass a ball forward. So he gets less slack than maybe somebody else would, who was like a true defensive mid. He should know how to turn on the ball and start it going.
For me, I feel like our midfield just sit there, James Milner apart, but the rest of them sit there and say, front three, please, do something. And the rest of them, they just pass back and hopefully something will happen. When you need them, because the front three can't always pop off, you got to rely on, it's a team game. There's 3 of them in there. Sometimes we need something from some of them, and we're never going to get that.
Ox, that's where maybe Ox.
That's what I was about to say.
we
We
missed
missed
Ox
Oxlade
massively.
Chamberlain. That is a big blow for us, him missing the season. But then also I was going to say, I personally thought the Keita was the man that was going to come in and
I
be that
think he
driving
is.
force
I
from-
think he is.
be that
I just
driving
think
force.
We've got to have a bit of patience with him. He's fresh into the
you
team.
need to let it adapt to English football. It's like, I know, like because my hope was he's going to come in and hit the ground running and start banging in goals, but
everything takes time.
He needs time, just like Fabinho, 6 months. I'd say give him before he starts. But you can see the talent in him. You know what I mean? You can see it. It's not like Henderson or Wijnaldum when you look at them guys and you think they just don't got it. They have a level and it's below what we need it to be. You know what I mean? And I don't think that about Keita. I just think he needs to learn how to play in the league.
Agreed.
Or for our team.
Agreed.
So Leroy, your thoughts on today's game, please. How would you dissect today's game?
Or just, I like to always start from the back. I think Alisson again was great today. I didn't like the fact Sam mentioned in the game as well that where Gomez had been pushed out to. Didn't really like that.
That was a big surprise for me as well to see Trent on the bench
Yeah.
and Gomez out wide as well.
100%. But you know what? We got saying that and all of that. We managed to get through it in the end. Our midfield. I see what Rice says about Winnie. I'm one of Henderson's biggest thing. I'm not his biggest fan. But again, as I always say, he does exactly what it says on the tin. But our midfield, I just feel that now there is going to be stages where they need to start. You don't have to be so creative. I just think it's the pressure. You see that press, yeah. If maybe one and a half goes, so one goes and the other one's just behind. I mean, in certain stages of the game, just put the pressure on. I don't think we did that today. We didn't apply that little bit of pressure because I think if our forward line has seen that, then that puts the thing up in them and then they start pushing and it just runs through the team. But I don't know. I
feel like with our midfield, with the three that we have in there, because Milner started, he went off with what looked like a hamstring injury, which is a big blow for us if it's going to be a hamstring injury. It's going to be weeks out. But Milner aside, I feel like we got three in there. Shouldn't two really be going to support the attack? Do we need two really to sit behind the ball when we've got the ball? Do we really need that much cover behind us?
Depends on who we're playing.
I was just about to say, in a game like today, and I could tell it was for both teams. The reason why you've got a 0-0 is because both teams are cautious too. The fact that in 2 passes, 2 strokes, you could be down the other end and they're scoring a goal. Now you're a goal behind. And now you're worried because you know if you now come up, if we go down against City and we go for the game, we're open. Then vice versa. So that's why you had that kind of cagey game today. That's what I see. But
They don't want to lose. We don't want to lose.
Exactly, that's what it is. So I don't know. I just think I take the draw. I'd love it if we got the result today, but I just think that maybe in future games, there's certain things in the midfield have to change, man.
Fair enough.
Can I say one thing? I also think that Klopp got the selection wrong.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to come. That's what I was coming to.
One reason why I say that is I think Gomez coming through the middle is capable of carrying the ball out. I think we missed that today, and I think Trent is more adventurous going forward.
But I think he leave gaps behind though, behind.
Yeah, but with Gomez covering, you've seen what he's been like with his recovery.
Did you guys criticised Gomez recently on WhatsApp saying he made a few mistakes?
I think
that was not when he was playing at right back.
That was last season when he was playing at right back.
This season,
And then you could see today how uncomfortable he was at right back.
I saw on the WhatsApp group this season, a few guys were saying Gomez made a few mistakes and Van Dijk had to cover him in a few games this season. I'm
sure that was more like
last season. Last season, definitely we criticised him for being at right back, his concentration, but I think the consensus amongst most of us is that him at centre back, he's been actually really solid. Hence why a lot of us were a bit shocked that he was starting at right back. Do you see what I mean? So, yeah.
Just a quick one to add to that though. I'm a big believer in we don't always know what's going on in the training ground. So I love Trent. I think Trent's a wonderful player. But could there have been a reason why he's not played him? Because if he had played him today and he made some hash browns today, we might have been going, why has he played him?
One more second about that. Warren, you saw the interview.
Go on.
Yeah, apparently Klopp stated he was doing some research a couple of days ago. And he noticed that Trent's levels has gone down.
Right.
So that's the only reason why he's
he's
to give him
yeah.
a rest and play Lovren instead.
So in reflection to what you said about training, we don't really know.
Okay,
We
so-
know that he played quite poorly during the week against Napoli, but then again, everyone did.
It could
but
be that he needed a rest.
So so from the because obviously they monitor them in training and stuff when they're doing their runs and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, fair enough. I didn't know that. Fair enough. So maybe like you said, he did need a rest.
That back four is one of the reasons why we drew the game or we didn't score a goal, right? That can't be.
Well, since we're talking about the back four, it might have been a change back four, but I feel today they were pretty solid.
It's not that.
I have
It's
my
not-
heart in my mouth, but
It's not that though. I think our wing back play is integral to the way we play football, and I think from that perspective alone, I would have gone with Trent. If he was playing badly, he's young enough to recover from being taken off. He's not going to kill him if he gets taken off if he's not playing well. But I would have liked to have seen him play, and like I said, I think Gomez can bring the ball out. Van Dijk can bring the ball out. It's almost like they're extra midfielders, if you understand what I mean. And
Do you know
our
what?
defenders are almost better passers than our midfielders.
As much as I agree with what you said about Trent, I think perhaps Klopp was thinking that Sane was going to play. And if we had Trent going the other way on that wing, we would have been so
Sane
open.
or Mendy.
We'd have been so open. And maybe he played Gomez there thinking, okay, do you know what? Gomez is a bit more sound defensively. And so going back, he's not going to bomb on as much as
I
Trent.
did think that, but Ryan brought it up earlier when he was saying that like, in the Champions League game, but Trent owned him. You know what I mean?
Dominated him.
He owned him in over them 2 legs.
At the peak of his form, though, and he hasn't been great this season. He did look a bit shaky during the week, so maybe that's why he's been pulled
Not
out.
so much defensively though. I wouldn't really. His delivery hasn't been as on point, but defensively, I think he's been very good.
Yeah, he hasn't been. He's been solid defensively. I can't think of too many.
Talking about our fullbacks, and makes me think about our midfield. Does that midfield of Wijnaldum, Henderson, and Milner work better when we have Trent and Robertson out on the pitch? Because obviously with Trent and Robertson going forward, those three who are a bit more defensively minded can then now fill the gaps.
Nail on the head.
So
Nail on the
now
head.
today's game,
Nail on the
without
head.
Trent there
They have
there
to
were
be
no
creative.
gaps to be filled.
They have to
There
be
weren't gaps to
creative.
be filled, so they need to now be creative. So now we're now asking another job of them that, let's be honest,
They're not up to it.
Asking
not capable.
Wijnaldum to do what we bought him for.
yeah.
You know what it is?
Okay, but listen, let's be real, yeah.
I think Henderson played quite good today.
Well, listen.
The thing is about Wijnaldum, he's in the team. He's great in the team, or he's good in the team for his energy. If the team ain't playing with that energy, he's pointless.
He's Henderson you're talking about.
No,
Wijnaldum.
Wijnaldum, because for a former number 10, his decision making when going forward is championship level. I'm not
Atrocious.
It's poor. It's for how many times? No, seriously, on the real. How many times can you remember him going forward and picking the first choice or the best choice immediately? He usually does this stutter thing where the ball gets caught underneath his feet.
It's thinking time. He's instinctive.
Quality players don't do that. The levels that we need to get to don't do that. So on that level, I'm with Ryan on that. I think he has played well in. I do think he has played well in a few games, but
By his standards, yeah.
Not by your ever high in standards, yeah.
Ryan's face is dead serious right now.
Oh man.
he done Ryan something, man. I'm telling you.
People think I'm Henderson guy number one, but Henderson can go too. Like, it's real. I want us to win everything. If they're not good enough, they can go. But I'm sick and tired of hearing this guy's good. He's not good. No one would want him. When they were saying he was going to go in the summer, no one was crying, no one cared, no one really gave a damn, like, because he's trash. Like, he's better than last season, but you cannot be worse. His stats were the worst stats I've ever seen. Like, it was abysmal. It was worse than Biscan, worse than whoever. Like, it's real.
Throwing that man like eagle.
It's real like that. Like, we need something from the midfield. We lost Coutinho, and Ox was doing an excellent job, but now he's not there. Keita's not ready, so we're relying
Surely Klopp has got to find a way to play Shaq from the start then.
I agree.
Okay,
I mean, that
I agree.
4-2-3-1 that we played against in the first couple of weeks of the season,
Southampton.
didn't they create a lot of opportunities? I want to see that again. To be
I
honest.
agree, but maybe he thought the City game maybe a bit too open. Fair enough, but
Can I ask a question then? Do you think Klopp has changed slightly because now that we're a good team, genuinely good team, he feels altogether we're a better team.
Okay.
Maybe he's picking a team like we've got something to lose, because I think last season Liverpool were at their best when we were just throwing caution to the wind, so we might lose. It's exactly that type of thing.
He's more measured now.
Yeah.
He's literally playing.
Which is good, which is fine.
But we haven't got the midfielders to do that every game.
I think we have, but I think they're just sitting on the bench at the minute.
Let
me throw something out there for you boys that I've mentioned a couple twice in the WhatsApp group. How about losing one of Wijnaldum or Henderson? We can't really lose Milner because he's quite integral at the moment, but losing one of those two and throwing Shaq in the middle of that three to play in that sort of Coutinho-ish type role.
So that's the first half lineup for the Southampton game.
Yeah, I think you can do that.
Which is a 4-2.
You can do that, but I would bring. I think, like I said, Fabinho. I think he's ready to come in now. So if you're gonna play Shaq in there, I think you need somebody who, like Fabinho, who's a bit more cultured on the ball. He's a bit more. You can tell he's got the IQ. Wijnaldum and Henderson are not the brightest footballers I've ever come across. And
say what you feel. You're saying this.
Say it from the heart, man. Say it from the chest.
Like the man is stupid.
There's a very good reason why James Milner has been our best midfielder this season. James Milner, despite the stupid Yorkshire accent, he's got a high IQ. The guy's got degrees and all them type of things. And I mean, he's a smart guy. And you look at Henderson and whatever weird side of wherever party he comes from.
He's a Mackham.
Is it Mackham?
He's a Mackham.
This guy, he seriously, he upsets me.
Let's be fair. He was spraying passes all over the pitch today.
Yeah, but he still did that.
I think you want to use the word spraying loosely. He switches it from left to right. That's his go-to ball.
There's certain bias amongst us.
He telegraphs it though.
If Henderson does something, we attack him. If other people do it, we don't attack them. I'm not sure why this is, but.
No, I've gone both of them. You check them.
I've
gone both of them. I don't like none of them really, but
fair.
you know what I mean. Henderson for me, he upset me because he will not pass. I mentioned this last time. He will not pass unless there's a 10-meter gap between one of his players. He doesn't trust his teammates.
I agree with that.
He doesn't trust his teammates.
He
doesn't trust himself.
And he telegraphs his passes.
daring enough.
He does this little stutter step thing before he does anything.
I just want him to shoot more. So we know
He's got it in his locker.
He's got it.
He's got a 20-yarder in his locker.
Just doesn't know what goes
He's
through
not
his brain.
confident in his
I
own
don't know. He
ability
did
to
it
do
once.
that.
Against
Only thing that's Chelsea.
Yeah.
And Man City a couple of years ago.
He's got that in his locker. He actually has his locker. He has got that.
Yeah.
He has got that.
Oh well, seeing as we're bashing our midfielders at the moment, let's turn something positive about our midfielders. James Milner, how integral has he become to Klopp's plans moving forward? Leroy, I can see you shaking your head. Yeah. So you go first. You talk to me about James Milner, the importance of James Milner.
It goes without saying, the guy is something else. To think that at one stage I laughed him off when he first was coming to the club and he was saying he's a centre midfielder. I was like, please, don't be so silly. But he's proved me wrong. He's proved me wrong. I don't know about anyone else, but he's proved me wrong. And to be honest with you, it's not just his work rate, it's what he brings as well. Even when he takes a penalty, real talk, who else would you guys want to have on a penalty other than that guy?
Steven Gerrard.
Steven G's not here, innit? Steven G's not here.
Yeah, definitely. Well, he's got a winner's mentality.
His track record is unbelievable.
He's
won a fair few trophies in his time, in his playing career. So
Professional, man.
he brings that experience to the squad, and
it's worrying to think that a guy who's practically like now at the end of his, where's he been?
Whoa.
Leeds.
Let me stop you there. Yeah, let me stop you there. Like Milner's what? I think he's like 31, 32.
Is he?
He's 33.
32.
I think he's 32.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know why. There's never no need for argument.
I saw it because of that.
There's never need for
because of that post someone put the other day about him wanting to possibly go to Leeds next summer.
Oh yeah.
They put his age there, which I'm sure was 32.
Well, okay, look, 32, 33. That's not old.
No, it's not. It's not old, but it's okay. For example, you've got someone like Giggs who played onto whatever age and showing them
their game. 37, 38.
Yeah, but them not games. Those guys changed their game and whole. Like I don't know how his game is. I don't know if he could go. Some players just can't go that long. I don't think.
Yeah, but it's different.
Unless they adapt their game.
Those
That's
guys
my
that are
opinion.
wingers and change, become more central.
I see what you're saying. The way he plays with that intensity, and I think he needs that edge. He's not going to be the kind of guy to dictate a game.
No.
So what is not positive for me is should Milner be the main guy in our midfield?
This is my. That was what I'm with.
That does worry me.
I think we are a couple, maybe a top draw midfielder short at the moment.
Yeah, but the thing is about sorry, Ron. The thing is about Klopp. Klopp's a system guy, so he's not really the guy that's going to have a midfielder that dictates or what's his name. If the system is working and the players are doing their role within that system, then we're firing. I don't think he's ever going to be the manager where one guy is the man that. You know what I mean? Because everybody's going about Coutinho left. We got better.
Yeah, we carried on.
It's a system, man, and he's very much a system kind of guy. The thing about Milner is that people don't remember the guy's been playing since he was 15. I think it was. Was it 15? And players that start that early, their shelf life is.
They've got to be managed.
Yeah, to be fair, he did retire from England a good 3-4 years ago.
That did help
prolonged things a bit.
Still a fit guy now, so.
Yeah, but that's exactly, and that's the thing. So the way you're saying like he's 32, 33, and you know whatever, blah blah blah. He's probably one of the fittest players in our squad. Like, and obviously behind closed doors, we don't know his personal training regime. We don't know, he might be doing something different or less than the rest of the team to keep himself fresh and fit. But for me, I feel while he's playing how he is, he's the first name on the team sheet.
100%.
That's what I was going to say. He is literally the first name.
He's integral to the way.
Well, he shouldn't be though, really.
But why not?
He's not the first name.
Yeah, but
No, he's not. He's not.
Okay, that might be a bit of exaggeration.
Who's saying
One
that?
of, innit? One of. But I think you get my gist. And I'm saying, while he's playing how he's playing and he can execute the plan that Klopp wants to do, he has to, for me, he has to be integral to what Klopp's doing.
He currently is, but he really shouldn't be. But he is currently.
The thing is, a workman-like midfield is okay when the front three are on fire. But when they're not, and they can't always be, and to achieve something, you need other people to step up once in a while.
You need more
goals from the midfield. Teams don't really win the league without goals from the midfield.
Definitely.
Someone
you
gets
need
some.
more goals coming in.
Actually, did any
Apart
of the
from front three, you need more goals coming in.
No, I was just going to say, did any of the midfield three actually take a shot during this game today?
Nowhere near it.
Probably not. No.
Nobody got near the goal.
Nowhere near it.
Positionally, we weren't playing well enough to even put them in those situations to be taking shots. And that's what worried me today. There's 2 games back to back where really we've not created anything.
Well, then brings to the next point. Why wasn't he sorted in the summer?
I don't think our squad is the problem. I think we've got the pieces.
I do.
I mean, for me, something like Sturridge looks fit enough to start games now. For me, I wouldn't mind seeing coming in. You could play Bobby. Remember, Bobby's a number 10.
Yeah, okay, but
Sturridge
Sturridge starting doesn't solve the midfield problem. Though. That's
It might do if you drop Firmino back.
Firmino could drop back into midfield. That's what I mean, and be that creative force because he drops back anyway. He's playing at left back after time. You know, Bobby with the work rate, but. Yeah, if we had both of them in the team, Bobby as a number 10 and what's the name feeding him, because Sturridge makes them clever run.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
He's got the feet.
To be fair, I mean, Firms has got more of an eye for pass than probably all of our midfield.
Yeah, because
from that position, from a 10.
All of them?
Maybe apart from a man known as the weird side Pirlo, aka Henderson. But I don't want to upset you, you know what I mean? I'm just, let's keep the peace in there, you know.
Oh dear, man, you gotta love the weird side here.
Weird side Pirlo, you know.
I'll tell you what, when he scored that goal against Chelsea a few years back, man, I was calling him.
Listen, I was at that game.
Yeah?
And yeah.
I had money on that game, so I was calling him God, Jesus, you know what I mean? Allah, all of them things there.
I
You know
had
what I
tickets for that
mean?
game and didn't go.
Oh, sad. You're sad.
And you live in Clapham Junction as well?
No, because me and my James in the Chelsea in the Chelsea end, man.
Maybe you weren't in the group those times because I went with James.
Yeah. Us Mill fans, we don't sit in that in the end. You know what I'm saying? I like Ryan. You know what I'm saying? We don't do
really
that
for
things.
that personally. But
You got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Anyway,
I guess.
let me ask you boys this, because it's been a touch negative about the City game, which is fair enough. So, man of the match. Would you pick anyone out from Liverpool squad?
Van Dijk.
Until the penalty, probably Van Dijk, yeah.
Including the penalty, I'd say Van Dijk. So he was solid. I mean,
It was a bit rash for that penalty.
Yeah, no, we've got high expectations of him, but you're allowed one of them. He didn't have a love. If it was Lovren would have dribbled past his own goalkeeper and put it in the net.
You know what? Jokes aside, I don't think that's fair. I feel like everyone should be levelled the same criticism. Do you know what I mean? Mistake is a mistake.
It was a rash
Chopping is
challenge.
chopping. It was rash.
He can't be man of the match. He's making
That's why it was rash.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, I wouldn't. The only thing I'm saying, I ain't gonna dwell on it. If you've got a history of doing that thing, if it's a one-off, you shouldn't have done that, naughty boy. But you go on still, you know what I mean? But if it was somebody like Lovren, I would do because he's got a history.
But we expect that was up there today.
No, Lovren played well.
Do you know what, Ryan? You're bang on. He did play well, but it doesn't help our
They were calling
nervousness
him
every time he
Baresi.
gets near the ball.
No, you were calling him Baresi.
Yeah. Fess up, Ryan. It's you.
That's blasphemy. That's blasphemy.
He made some challenges.
Somebody needs to get some salt and start that shit over your shoulder.
That Baresi would have been proud of.
Baresi.
Sorry, I have to give a shout out to Gomez because, to be fair, I thought he played a different position today.
That's a good shout.
Came in, did his job, and he kept it going.
Good shout.
He literally had one dodgy moment the whole game.
And he tried attacking.
Yeah, and you got to and
Well, you could put in a good few crosses as well. Waggle,
Yeah,
didn't
That's
he?
a good shout.
How did Robbo play? Just out of interest.
just standard rubber.
Standard rules.
Yeah.
Always a 7, 8 out of 10.
7.5 out of 10
Yeah,
standard,
steady.
yeah.
Lizard? How did Lizard play? Manny?
Dropped off.
I don't know if he was poor because he was part of the front three and
They were all poor.
Do you know what with Mane? Yeah, he sometimes you just want to shake him sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
Because he can be so
he's
good.
so good, and then
The
sometimes
potential's inside, isn't it?
the
It's
touch
when his touch
lets
is
him
off.
down. When his touch is off, it's off.
yeah, but saying that though, I let him off a little bit because I think those front three, like we were talking about earlier, they're expected to do so much. They need at times they should be able to just stand on the wing and get a pass. They shouldn't have to come back every time and dribble past. Do you know what I mean? So our midfielders need to just make that run, slide it in, you know what I mean, with little cute touches. If you look at City, they were doing these little cute touches in midfield that were getting their players free. Mane and Salah didn't really get that. They had to work for everything they had. Do you know what I mean?
Again, which throws us back to our midfield problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Leroy, man of the match for you.
Yeah, you know, I'll probably go with Gomez, you know?
Yeah?
Yeah. As I say, I think that's a great shot by over there. You know,
Okay.
it's a great shot.
Fair enough. So boys, what does this draw mean? And the performance at this stage of the season, what does that mean for us so far? Like, what do you reckon?
I thought it was a good result considering that we played not very good. As an attacking force, we didn't really offer much. And they had a penalty in the last 5-10 minutes. And we still got a point against the champions.
100.
So when you look at everything, you weigh up everything, it's a good point.
And we're still unbeaten, right?
Yeah, still
Yeah,
unbeaten.
progress. Definitely.
And considering the run as well, throwing the run that we had in, I mean, we're bound to get a bit tired and a little bit
Yeah,
lethargic
that
towards.
7-game period you're talking about.
Yeah. And was it 20-something games, 20-something days we played that? Yeah, it's not that easy. I think we're confident, but maybe we're putting a bit too much pressure on them in that.
Maybe the international break has come at a good time.
Yeah.
I think
It
it's
actually has, yeah.
It's come out
I'd
at a
never
great
say
time.
that,
If we'd have lost, I would have been saying that. But if we got that point, I'd take that into the international break. We can reset. You know what I mean?
If we'd have lost, shout out to whoever bust that prayer, man, because boy, it worked.
Well, you know,
good.
my granny
It worked real good, man. When I saw Mario step up, I was
said some
worried.
real stuff. I channeled.
On the real though.
That means we got lucky. Aguero went off then.
And we would have been on the pitch. That would have been buried.
On the
You
real
know
though,
what? Then again, with that Aguero stat that they showed earlier, you may have missed it.
Wow, he's
But
never scored a goal against us at Anfield, man. So
I think Alisson had something to do with it as well. I think the guy
He did.
is a grown man keeper, man, like a big man. You know what I mean?
intimidation factor.
Exactly.
And he done that jump up on the line, like he looked
Exactly.
massive.
Exactly. I think he's that played a
got
part
that
in
stature
it. He
about him.
intimidates people. You can tell. They always, if you notice, people try to take their chances earlier against him because when he comes out and he's like what Schmeichel used to do, you know what I mean? Spread himself and it's a big presence. Carries nobody
Fair
knows
play, I've
that.
got to say, Wazza used to wind me up when he used to say, I want to sign Alisson. I used to be like, who is this Alisson guy? And I didn't even know, I didn't know who he was, but no, fair play to you for that. You shouted him early still.
It's just nice to have a decent keeper. I can feel relaxed.
Decent quality, man. World
Yeah.
class.
It's a relief.
So you know what? We were waxing lyrical by Alisson. Nobody put their hand up for him for man of the match.
He didn't really
have
have that
anything
much
to do with it.
time.
He did.
True, fair enough. But what he did have to do, he did well. And we're grateful that we have him in between the sticks.
Listen, every time we go on Twitter and we see a next mistake by Karius, we need to be thankful.
We had a good
What we have.
Let us digress slightly. Can we please pray for Laureus Karius? Because I hope if anybody listened to this saw his mistake for Besiktas. Oh,
Even
wow.
my granny can't help.
Wow. So, all my fellow Liverpool fans, he was once a Red, so please spare a prayer for Laureus.
I have a lot of time for Karras, but when he started to upload like that promo shoot of him in Hollywood, getting ready for pre-season, and then having pictures with Salt Bay and all that thing, I went, nah, you know what, you're done at the moment now.
I think he's stuck in between that celebrity life and wanting to be a footballer.
Yeah.
Like, He does come
across like he wants to be a bit of a model.
A Hollywood
on
star
his
and a
Instagram.
footballer. He's stuck in between that.
Maybe that's his calling.
Because it ain't goalkeeping. No, I'm joking. Oh dear. So lads, right. Man City game over and done with dusted. Look, we're
where are we? Second?
We're joint top. We're probably second by virtue of goal difference. I'm not sure what Chelsea's goal difference is.
We're third because Chelsea scored 3.
Okay, fair enough. So we're third, but we're joint first. We're all on 20 points.
Exactly.
It's looking a little bit tight up there at the moment, but like we said, we're unbeaten.
It's good.
Maybe the international break is what we needed.
Massive.
What we need right now.
They all after the international break, they all playing each other, innit?
And
we've got an easier run of games.
We come back to Huddersfield away, which isn't necessarily easy because it's an away game.
Wags would do Klopp a favour.
No, it would be good.
Let's hope. So, what I'm getting from you boys is that it's not all doom and gloom.
That's positive.
Room for improvement.
Mate, I think for me, I like to be in amongst the title race. Like, bang on points.
We would have took this start.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true. And talking about the games that we've had, the run of games we had, so the game before this we had Napoli in the Champions League. We should get onto that and talk about that performance and that result, because I don't think the result matched the performance. We deserve to lose.
It's quite similar to today, really.
Yeah.
I think it was way worse than
I
today.
think we were shocking.
I didn't see it.
As an attacking sense, I think it was pretty
No,
much
but
the same.
The attacking side of things,
The hub talk about complete team performance.
Yeah,
The worst I've seen in about 18 months to 2 years. It seriously was that bad. We couldn't.
Worst performance under Klopp?
It's up there. It's definitely up there. Somebody mentioned Watford.
That's a bit harsh.
We lost.
Spurs.
We've had
Spurs away was what?
Spurs away wasn't a team performance. That was individual.
It
was individual.
Because we actually played better than them in most of the second half in that game, if you remember. It was just the Lovren Moreno combo.
Let's stick to Napoli. Let's stick to Napoli because I don't want to relive that awful. I was at that game. Let's not.
The reason that game disappointed me is because I watched Napoli and I don't think they were as good as we made them look. I think if we were halfway on it, we win that game. Seriously, I think we made them look good.
I think we're not giving Napoli enough credit, mate.
I was just about to say, to be fair,
Top team,
I
they get in
mean,
the Champions League every year.
yeah, I mean, even Pep said last season, I think it was last season they had them, and he said they're
made a big quell.
they're a tough side to
This
go
is
there.
the league, right?
They're tough.
Yeah, second.
But there's not much in that league.
They almost
They're
won that
tough.
league. It doesn't matter. It's just about winning the league. 38 games a season is not a joke team.
They're a tough
No matter
side.
what league you're in, to be honest with you.
I think they're a
Did we
good
take
team.
them lightly based off the pre-season game? I think.
No.
No. I just think we ran out of gas. I think 7 games are to prepare yourself mentally for games at that level over 27 games in 20 or 6 at the time in 20 something days. I think you're gonna run into a wall at some point, even though it's the start of the season.
It's tough game.
It's hard.
How many players did he use in those 7 games? He didn't
That's
make that many changes, did he? Really?
I was saying
per
that
game?
earlier on, like we were saying that we should have, and I agree with him. We should have,
Because
it wouldn't have hurt.
One thing that mirrored that game today was I think we let them come into the game. I don't think they started great.
I agree with you on that because the first 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes or so, we were flying and we didn't create many chances to kill their hope. That we let them grow into the game, like you said.
Because they started jittery.
They started nervous, and I mean that centre back pairing today of Laporte and Stones. How many times did they play together? We should have put them.
They look dodgy.
We didn't test them.
They look dodgy at the start. Definitely look dodgy. Stones.
I wouldn't mind seeing Solanke come on for them too, to be honest with you.
Solanke's not made the bench all season,
mate, because he's one that can actually head the ball.
I don't think we play that kind of football though for him.
But sometimes you have that plan B, plan C, plan D even sometimes, mate.
Well, James, going back to previous podcasts, I've said it before. Like, I believe the philosophy of Klopp is plan A, and then plan B is plan A, but better. So I don't think we're going to change our philosophy to fit Solanke's type of
doesn't
football.
always work. I like to see 4-2-3-1 sometimes. I like to see 4-4-2 sometimes. 4-3-3 doesn't work.
Changing the
every
formation is not something that he should be, against, but changing the style of play, for me, that's something I don't really want to see. I want our style to remain the same, and I want us to stick to how we play and stick to what we do and believe in what we do.
I don't think you can change your style of play over the course course of the season that many times. I think you can change your formation, which might alter your style of play a bit.
Yeah.
But I don't think
Ultimately,
teams really
your
do
style.
that. Yeah, you're gonna, especially if you're under pressure, you're gonna reverse attack. If players know how to play one way, they're gonna keep going playing that way. You know what I mean?
I only think Klopp doesn't have any other way.
Well, this is a negative. For me.
Yeah, I mean, since the Dortmund, I mean, I used to watch.
He's got to have a different style apart from
Well, Klopp's not the only one. Klopp, Sarri,
Pep.
these guys don't change their style.
No, Pep does do madness.
No,
he
changes.
plays 3-5-2 sometimes.
Yeah, but the style is still the
He
same.
plays
It's possession-based football.
4-2-3-1.
It's still possession-based football.
To be fair, one of the managers that used to do that, I'm sorry to say his name, Mourinho, he was good at changing tactics when things wasn't going right,
Yeah.
and he changed it quickly.
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
I give him that.
Yeah.
No, I have to give him
Back in the day.
No, but long live Mourinho. Long live Mourinho. Jose in. Jose in. Jose in.
Jose must stay. I mean,
Okay,
to be honest,
okay, let's get that
slightly
straight.
I was cheering for United just today. Slightly, but he's
Man
got to
deserves a
stay.
new deal.
Yeah.
Players are playing for him.
Listen.
I wanted a draw.
Listen, I've got a pound jar at home. I'll donate that to pay for his hotel bill. I'm happy to do that.
I'll tell you
Jose
something
in.
now. The Arsenal man, they must have put some kind of voodoo doll underneath the Old Trafford pitch because they've reversed roles. It's some Freaky Friday
Arsenal
type of thing
right now.
where the Arsenal and Man United become the new Arsenal.
But anyway, let's not waste time on these other teams.
forget them
yeah?
teams.
Let's forget those teams right now. Yeah. But listen, Warren, let me ask you, what do you think contributed to the performance in midweek against Napoli? Any factors might have been the reason why the performance was a bit lackluster?
I honestly don't know. Have we run out of spark? Has time is caught in? I really don't know. Maybe because we're so used to turning teams over, we expect that now. We just turn up, do the job, free the front three.
Have teams suss us out as well.
Have we stumbled into this performance though? Because we mentioned before that we actually haven't played that great for 90 minutes this
Since
season.
West Ham,
We've
West
probably
Ham.
played the West Ham
Yeah.
game and maybe the PSG game.
Southampton.
But we've
wasn't
stumbled
bad.
across, and obviously with our front three not firing, we knew that we were starting to lag a little bit. And we obviously with the tiredness as well, we've gone into the Napoli game and thought, you know what, we'd take a draw. We'd definitely take a draw. And we got sucker punched at the end. But could we have sort of had a little bit more foresight and seen this type of performance coming? Especially after today as well, because
Napoli's a hard place to go.
Yeah, it's a hard place.
it is. But on our
it's not.
game, we did at least create. And last two
Yeah,
games,
it was the performance that was more disappointing
Yeah, I
for
agree,
me.
yeah.
We didn't look like winning at any point.
Yeah,
Exactly.
From
Exactly.
point would have been a great
Yeah.
result.
Because you can go
Undeserved.
You can lose at Napoli on top Napoli and it not be such a bad thing because you played well. Do you know what I mean? Can I throw like an alternate sort of way to spin on what the last 7 games and maybe our style of football? Because we've obviously raised our level, might this be our blip? And what I'm trying to say is, have we improved to the point where we're not great but we're still motoring?
Listen, if this is our blip, where we're not great, but
I
we're
actually
picking
agree.
up
I think it
points
is a blip,
against
yeah.
big teams and wins against little teams, scrappy, then I'll take this blip, you know.
No, because the reason I say that is because I think we've progressed to the point where teams have to beat us. Before we used to beat ourselves on many occasions.
Yeah.
I've watched we beat ourselves, but now they have to beat us. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to do something to beat us. That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm thinking.
Totally agree.
I might be completely wrong, but
I think this is definitely a little bit of a blip, definitely.
Yeah.
But I'll take the way.
I'll take the blip because the blips we've had before. Do you know what I mean?
Clearly
We-
worked
we-
really hard on that defence, really hard, and just
deserves massive credit for it. Yeah.
absolutely solid. He's a league man right now. He's in proper league mode for me right now.
Well, let's be honest. Losing away to Napoli, there's no shame in that. Performance aside, there's no shame in losing away to Napoli because, like we all know, it is a hard place to go and play football. And I guess when it comes to the Champions League, if you win your home games,
You're pretty much there.
you're home and dry, aren't you?
Especially in that group stage.
Yeah, in the group stages I'm talking, So
Yeah.
if you win your home games, you're pretty much home and dry. So
If you could get one away win, that's pretty much
Can I
it.
just clarify one thing? They scrapping the away goals this season, is that right? On the
I'm
Champions
not
League?
sure.
I'm not too
they
sure.
are.
I'm not too sure if they're scrapping the away
Double
goals.
check that.
this
let's try and get through the group
Is it-
first.
is it-
What do you mean in the
in the knockouts.
In the knockouts, yeah.
Oh really? This
There was rumblings of them scrapping it. Yeah.
It might be next season.
Yeah, I'm not
be
sure
next
if it's
season.
coming in this season or
Yeah,
next season,
you
but
might be right.
you know what? Come the knockout stages, we make it. We'll have that information and we'll be good to go. But next in the Champions League, we've got Red Star, home and away. So you'd like to think that's a 4-point minimum.
6.
6.
I'd expect 6, but I think I'll take a 4-point minimum. You know, Rafa would do it. He'd win it at home. He would take the draw away.
I don't think 4 is acceptable. I've seen them. I watched them play against PSG, and they're one of the worst teams I've seen play in the Champions League.
But against Napoli, they didn't look so bad.
What they draw
No,
against
Napoli missed a hell of a lot of
No, they
chances
did.
in that game.
Napoli should have won, but they didn't look terrible.
I think
We should beat them. If
Not
they
yet.
play
Not Liverpool.
anywhere
We're doing
near-
it the hard way and get 4 points. But if we're being serious, if we're professional, if we turn up and put in any kind of performance, it should be 6 points.
Now, on that note, I'm going to say that match. What is the our games before and after?
I think we have. I think if I'm correct, we have Huddersfield when we come. Had Huddersfield after the international break, and then
I know it's Cardiff after.
after Huddersfield we have Red Star at home, and then it's Cardiff, and then it's
can't ask for much better than
Arsenal away, and then it's Red Star away.
Okay, so it's only really the second Red Star game after the Arsenal game. It's 2.
Arsenal game.
Yeah.
Which is why, looking at those fixtures, I wouldn't be angry at 4 points in the Champions League. I wouldn't be angry.
It does the job.
I think
It
the
does the
second
job.
string should still be slapping Red Star. I really do.
But listen,
You know,
it's not going to make a difference to qualifying for the group, right? Even if you get 4 points or 6
No,
points.
it's going to make a difference.
No,
Put
'cause
more
we-
pressure on the final 2
Yeah,
games.
because we got PSG away and then Napoli at home. Now Napoli, you know what I mean? If we don't play well, I mean they could nick a point. I can't see them beating us at Anfield, but we don't want to get into them
You're right.
situations.
You're right, you're right.
Just to make
You're
it
right.
simple, just get it over and done.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't have to.
We have a habit of making
You're right,
things hard
you're
for
right.
ourselves, and it ain't about that no more.
No, man. We like
It's
the
a tough
Inter.
group though, so
Yeah, it is
I would
tough
expect
group.
it to go to the last stage.
Definitely. It's a tough group, definitely.
It depends on what Napoli and what's name do against each other. I mean,
PSG.
two draws in them
Oh,
games
yeah,
would
that would
be
be nice.
that would be nice.
That'd be very nice.
Imagine PSG in Europa League.
So lads, Champions League aside, before the Champions League game, we had Chelsea away. Score was 1-1, and again it was another screamer from that man Eden Hazard. But we managed to come back with a screamer of our own.
That's so pleasing.
DS is back.
I think that's, for me, that's the most pleasing part of the season, this season for me. That goal against Chelsea was the most...
The girl
Just know
needed
what
to
I
smoke a
smoking that,
cigarette.
James.
I don't
It's
even
the most
smoke.
pleasing part of this season for me. Just the mentality factor of that, coming back, scoring that goal, taking that point off of them away from home.
I think we
It felt like a
Honestly,
winner. It felt like a winner.
so pleasing to
He
me.
said on Instagram, big things are gone. That was very serious. So when you make a statement like that, you got to come on the pitch and do something. And he done
It's
it.
part of frustration of the story. It's not in terms of his play, but imagine he'd been given like Milner's level of health. You know what I mean? Somebody who could. The guy is a serious player, man. It's tragic that his
Absolute
injuries.
baller.
It is sad.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
I mean,
life.
baller.
You know, I've been made to eat humble pie. Anyone who's known me for the past 2 years, I have slated Daniel.
Well,
You
I've
have.
been going back further than you, mate. I've been going back
And you
4
guys
or
have made me
5
very
years.
angry with this.
I've called him
I've
old
been getting
Geller. I said he needs to be put down. When he went to West Brom, he injured himself. I was cracking up, but got slated for it. He's came back. He's doing the business. I apologise. I take all the comments back.
I don't think his quality was.
No, big man for that, man. That's a big man for it. Admit that. Big man.
You need to at him on Twitter or Insta. Send a message. Man.
Yeah.
Apologise, bro.
Say
I'll
you're
take
sorry.
that. Look, I've slayed him and Gomez, and they both made me regret my words. Keep up the good job, lads.
So anyway, the Chelsea game, man. What are your thoughts on that game, man?
Well, I said in our last,
big
you
smile.
know why I'm happy? Because I said in our last podcast, I said, Daniel Sturridge, he looks like a different fitness is going on right now. It looks like he's eating right, he's training different. I don't think his injury, I don't want to, again, knock on wood, I don't want to talk too soon, but I said he's looking sharp. And what I liked in that game, the big difference in that game, I've watched us play games like that, and a dead keeper, dead mistake, goal. Hazard had a one-on-one, keeper saved it. Willian had a one-on-one, and now the save
from
again.
Alisson and
So
both
it's
ends
a
well,
big,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Striker.
We needed that though. We needed that. And that change. I like the fact that we've got the keeper now. So we've got that. We've got that centre back in Virgil. Virgil showed it in that game that we had Everton in the FA Cup. The first game he played for us, he was already talking to the back line. That filled me with confidence, and I see it now.
Grown man
And
shit.
from that, it's just going through the team. But yeah, against Chelsea, we stuck in there. We stuck at it. Got that goal.
What a goal, man.
I was so happy. What? I was so happy. Hey, Belgium Bruce is in the place now.
Yes, Benjamin Bruce.
My man's alter egos just popped out,
Yeah, no, it was a great game, and like James said, to echo what James said, the mentality to come back and get that equaliser, it almost felt like a win, because in seasons past that would have resulted in maybe even a 2, maybe even a 3-0 defeat. Yeah, and we would have been so down in the dumps. But you can see in the camp that there's a real belief that they can come back. They can actually achieve something this year.
That piece of quality though,
Yeah.
like today, like we're talking about today with our midfielder not performing great. That player who can come on and go, you know what, got this. Watch this. Bang.
Not scared.
What?
Fearless.
What? Go measured it, and you have to remember he did that in the League Cup game during the week.
Yeah,
like hit the
let's-
crossbar.
yeah.
So that is that's talent.
Well, I was told that he was actually practicing those kind of shots in training. There was another platform who was discussing that training and stuff, and they were saying that Daniel had been practicing these shots in training. How true it is, I don't know.
Inch perfect.
But it was a great shot.
Inch perfect.
But seeing as you brought up the League Cup, we'll just touch on that quickly. That was against Chelsea. We obviously lost that 2-1. Another sublime goal by Eden Hazard. And I don't think anyone sitting here can be mad at Liverpool for that, because what can you do? That was
We should have won that game, though.
Yeah,
no,
the
we
game
had
the game
enough
should have been long
chances.
gone before Hazard came on
We
the
had
pitch.
enough chances to put that game away.
I
Get it
wasn't
right.
mad because we had last year's defence, and when that defence plays, it's literally a lot.
The defence wasn't to blame for that result, though. I think that's a bit harsh.
I think so.
I think more wasted opportunities we had.
Let me. No, we did waste, but let me think.
Agreed.
Case in point, the first goal that they scored with the flick on from, I think it was Bartley. Van Dijk's playing. That's gone. There's no way Bartley's winning a header against Van Dijk. Ain't happening. And the thing is, the Lovren. I mean, Keita was part to blame in the second goal, but also Moreno. The man spinning around in the middle of his box like he's
Moreno is
in a
what he
list
is.
or something like that. Do you know what I mean? You don't know where the ball is. Don't do them things, there, man. Look, you know your position, know what the players you're playing against. He's spinning around, and I'm never confident when it doesn't matter if we play a full team and Moreno.
Leroy is in absolute stitches for that.
This guy onto Moreno. I don't like it. I don't like it.
If we were clinical, we win that match.
100%, man. 100%.
We was a goal up and we had chances.
I ain't gonna lie, I got something against Moreno. I think he's a.
I think he's more of a
He's a good mascot.
I agree with that.
He's a good mascot.
Where he could be do less damage. He could do less damage to the back.
I think he should be in a costume dancing up the touchline. That's it.
Oh, mascot,
That's it. Apart from that,
Mighty Red Moreno, yeah?
For me, anytime I see Moreno on the ball, I just have flashbacks of Traore on the ball.
Oh, Jimmy! Wow, really was.
Yeah.
I don't see him like that.
No.
He had his moments.
Hey, listen, get some respect for Jimmy now. Champions League winner. I know you're forgetting the Burnley on goal.
I'll never forget
Yeah, but Jimmy's my guy, you know.
Yeah,
You're on your own there.
Like, second half, Jimmy kept out Kaka. Remember that?
That's true.
By hook or by crook.
Yeah, he did it somehow.
wasn't by design. He was stealing a living. I'm telling you.
That is drawing out for Jimmy, man.
I know what Wes is saying, but for real, put some respect on Jimmy.
You know how many Arsenal man would love to have that Champions League medal?
Yo!
Jimmy, wherever he is now.
Yeah.
I
He's
feel
still
Moreno
there.
is like a very poor man's Risa. Like he's that kind of
Do you know
player.
what?
That's actually a good idea.
A good shout.
He's more attack-minded, definitely.
But he just messes it up.
Yes.
At least we used to score some bangers though.
Yeah, I know, Jimmy. Listen. Well,
I had high hopes for Moreno, you know. I was at the game away to Spurs a few years ago when Balotelli's debut, and he scored a banger that game.
Yeah.
And I was like, rah, we finally replaced him. We got a left back, and then
Moreno is the stupidest footballer I've ever come across.
alongside.
I can't think of stupider footballer than Moreno. Who's stupider than Moreno?
There isn't one.
He's the dunce.
So you're saying we got stupid Moreno, we got stupid Wijnaldum, we got stupid
No.
Hendo.
Listen, Wijnaldum's Einstein compared to Moreno. Moreno is so. Listen, I tell
Big
you
dance
what.
man in our team, yeah?
I'd give him a little shiny thing and tell him to go play in the corner, man. You ain't playing. Don't play with that over there, son. We don't play no game in it. Moreno's dead.
You know what? Moreno was good until the Sevilla Cup final.
He wasn't good.
He wasn't good.
No, you know what? I'm a back Weza. He was decent. He was okay. He was okay.
Alright, you use your words carefully.
He was okay.
Can I just say, that was
form.
when conceding 3 goals was normality to us. He wasn't good.
No, but when we conceded those 3 goals against Sevilla, that was personally down to him personally.
Not just that one match. At any given time, we could concede 3.
Yeah, we had to.
From winning positions, we could concede 3, 4. Our defense was all a shambles at that point. They was terrible.
Anyway, let's not regress back into those dark times.
Yes, it's good time.
I just wanted to touch on the League Cup result.
That's fine. No,
But if before this 7-game run, if someone said to me, you know what, you're going to lose the League Cup to Chelsea and draw in spectacular style at the Bridge in the league, I'd have taken it.
Definitely.
Agree?
yeah, big time progress.
Yeah,
all day.
because for me personally, I've said it once before in the first podcast. I'm going to say it again. The way we played it at the Bridge was a sign of champions, if you ask me.
No, we played well. I get it.
Do you know what I mean? To be 1 goal down to one of your rivals and
not panic, yeah.
Don't panic. 90. What was it? 8.
And we had great chances.
Was
The
it?
point-
Yeah, we
the
didn't
point
play.
was the least we
we didn't
deserved.
play badly. We didn't play badly, but I'm just saying, what was it? 89th minute was it? East Irish score. And we come back. So you know what? For me, I'm saying it quietly.
I thought we played good in that game.
I'm not disagreeing.
We did.
Hazard's goal was a good goal. Not much you could do. He was being shown down the line. He took it early. He caught Alisson unaware, and
No, it's good.
it was a good goal.
Yeah, good
You
goal.
can't argue with that. It wasn't a silly mistake. Nothing stupid like that. So yeah, we did play well. But like I said, for us to show that mentality to come back, to have the strength to come back, I was pleased as punch, mate.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Absolutely excellent. So, lads, it's the international break. As we all know, we have been saying it's come at a good time. So there will be no more football for 2 weeks. So you can now go home and actually do the things in your house you're supposed to do.
Talk to your missus.
Talk to your missus. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, lads, I think the time has come. I'm gonna wrap it up now. We have been the Anfield South podcast. I've been the host Slim. With me's been Wazza.
Thank you for having me.
Ryan.
Yeah, I'm here.
Chris.
Moreno for president.
James.
Many thanks.
Leroy.
It's always a pleasure, never a chore.
And last but definitely not least, Big Sam.
Big up, people. Loved it.
Alright guys, don't forget to follow us on our socials. On Twitter you can follow us at South Anfield, sorry. And on Instagram you can follow us at Anfield_South1. You never talk alone.
They've won the league, bigger stars than Dallas. They've got more silver than Buckingham Palace. No one knows quite what to expect when the red machine's in full effect. Well, Steve McMahon sure can rap. It's about time he had an England cap. So come on, Bobby Robson, he's the man. Because if anyone can, Macca can. Macca can. Macca can. Macca can. Macca can.
Liverpool FC is hard as hell.
My idea was to build Liverpool up.